All right. Happy Thanksgiving. This is the Lucky TJ at Living Metaphysically. Whew, what a day this has been. I got up today, so I'm not going to talk about crypto today. I'm going to talk about something else. Either you like it or you don't. It's okay. Because today was a strange day, full moon today. And I woke up, I had a fantastic, sleeping in, doing spiritual work. And I ended up writing this amazing, well, to me it was amazing, an amazing writing about taking in more love and giving more love, because I noticed that at times I I think the greatest insight a person can have is when you actually look within yourself and try to see what is it about yourself that you can become aware of. Like, is it working? Is it not working? And I noticed that I hadn't been taking in all the love people were giving me. So that's been exciting for me to understand, so I could take more love in and also to give more love. So it's interesting. I'm thinking about it because I had this poem. I'm going to read it. Take in more love, give more love. Take in more love, receive more love in your heart. Even when you think you are receiving all the love someone is giving, perhaps you're not. Perhaps you can take in more. Perhaps you can receive more of what they are giving in your heart. Sometimes a person may be unconsciously blocking some of what love other people are giving out, maybe holding back or putting up some little layer of protection, a small wall of doubt or mistrust, equaling not 100% open. Sometimes hidden in the recesses of a person, they are secretly feeling, I am not good enough for someone to love, or why does this person love me? So they feel afraid and need to protect themselves. This is what I'm talking about. These deeper places inside that maybe are still yet undiscovered, even by you. Take it in. Take it in. It really won't hurt you. On the other side, give more love. Even in the face of what seems impossible, give more love. Like when there's that family member who believes in the most horrific things, give them more love. Give it from inside of you, inside your own heart. This does not mean that you hug them more or longer, although you might, but feel and radiate and push out from your heart more vibrations of love. Do it intentionally. Do it in secret as you sit there at the dinner table. Silently be in touch with your own heart and push out a focused beam of love energy to them. Do it as much as you can. Do it for no reason or for the reason that you can. Do it as often as you can and continue to carry on with your food, etc. You will absolutely love it. Prove it and try it so you can test it. And have a happy, thankful day no matter what you celebrate, no matter whether you celebrate Thanksgiving or not. You take charge of your beautiful heart and your life and your day in a way you never have before. Remember, you can. take in more love, give more love. Wishing you a happy and joy-filled day. Little heart, little smile. So I wrote this poem this morning, and I had a great day. I went out over and I ate at my sister's sister-in-law's, who made special food for me since I'm vegetarian. And then later on, I took some food over to my other sister, where I had a run-in with a different relative. When I say run-in, it's interesting that there are some people in a person's life that bring up very intense feelings. And this person hollered at me and yelled at me and screamed at me. And in those receiving that type of behavior, I felt so like instantly defensive, scared. I felt like I could feel feelings in my body, like my heart was racing, and I really wanted to lash out and hurt the person. And then also there was a part of me was witnessing what was going on, so I wanted to talk to the person and see if there's any kind of way I could calm this person down. But the person just kept escalating, and it ended up hollering some more and then cussing at me. Well, not cussing at me, but saying curse words. And I just noticed how my whole life I've had the same person say and be, this is what I know now as abuse. And the person has been abusive. But the thing about it is that I always thought I was to blame. And the person, in fact, when I was talking, told me tonight that I was the one who had started it. And some sort of way, hearing that, a part of me becomes like I'm not a fully present adult, but instead I am like some kid who's like being beat up with nothing to be able to do, and being powerless. So I was fascinated to be able to actually witness the situation. And I noticed that at some point I felt like I wanted to strike the person. And the person ran away and went into another room. And I felt like I wanted to crash the door down. But I didn't crash the door down, because I could really feel and see, I could feel myself being really, really hot and angry and want to hurt that person. But I also had enough presence of mind to know that that wasn't really what I wanted to do. So it was a cathartic evening, because although it took a while for my body to sort of calm down, I went and I talked for a little while to my sister. And as we spoke, the feel like my body calmed back down, so the rush of adrenaline started wearing off. And then when I left, I started understanding that something I've never understood before. I'm not to blame for how other people feel. And I had it was an amazing moment where I learned something about codependency and also abusers and the abusees, people who are abused. Because I wrote this down. I am not responsible for your feelings. Like, I've never in my life been able to actually feel free to know that I'm not responsible for somebody else's feelings or how they feel. If they, whatever they feel, I'm not responsible. No matter what I did, said to trigger off somebody else's like escalated emotions of whatever they're feeling, anger or rage or whatever they do. If they holler, scream, strike out, hit, get crazy, no matter what they say, if they're blaming me and telling me I'm the one who provoked them and blah blah, like all that kind of stuff. There was a part in me that I used to buy into that for years, my whole life really. I would buy into it, and inside I'd feel like really messed up, like I'm the one who's done something wrong, and I'm to blame for how somebody else is acting or feeling. And that's codependency. And tonight I have had a healing from that because of this, this situation. And another thing, so I'm going to read the rest of this. I wrote these down because this is a realization for me. I am not responsible for your misery. I am not responsible for your actions or for the way you feel. I am not responsible for your behavior. And then I wrote my name under that. On the next page, I also had written down something that I realized about, I guess an hour later, that an abuser will tell you that you are responsible for their feelings. And I wrote under that, don't buy into it. Because that's one of the keys in a codependent relationship, is that there's a person who's like an abuser who is like going to do all these things, and they're going to tell you you're the blame. Like if they kill you, well, you're the one who's at fault. If they holler at you, well, you're the one who's at fault. If they hit you, you're the one who's at fault, because their uncontrollable emotions and behaviors and being able to handle whatever's being told to them, like it's your fault that they can't handle themselves. And I think that's pretty interesting because the person being abused will often agree, And so I learned tonight that I am not responsible for another person who can't handle their own self, their own emotions, their own body, I am not responsible. I'm not to blame. Here's another thing I wrote. An abuser will always try to blame you for their behavior and for their abuse. So I made this video just because I know I need to make a video if I'm going to make my YouTube channel grow. But I also want to just share this and record it for my night, because it's important, because this is a very, very healing situation that happened. Like, I have never been free of the feeling that I was the one responsible for this person's unhappiness. I've never had that before. And now I don't feel it. Like, I don't feel the same way I normally feel. Like, whatever it is, it would always feel like I would feel messed up, like, because this person had gone crazy. So this is very exciting for me. And I encourage you, the reason also that I'm sharing this video is because if you're in a situation where you're unhappy or you're being abused and you need help of some sort, meaning that you don't know how to heal, I want you to know that healing is possible. Healing is available, and you may have to do some work in order to have it happen. So if you go to therapy, or if you have if you meditate or you do enough work on yourself to be able to open up something in you to be able to come through, your healing will take place. Emotional healing is one of the most important things that a person can do in their life, because emotional healing can give you the freedom from pain and misery that you may have carried for your whole life, from your childhood through your adolescence, through your young adult life, through your middle age, through your older years. If you haven't never really dealt with certain issues like codependency and you know, dealing with your emotions and your relationships and who you choose, who is in your life, then and you walking around having a lot of like messed up stuff happening, as far as you're feeling bad and your relationships aren't good and you don't know how to handle it and you're not healed, you're walking around like a wounded person, then that doesn't give you the opportunity to have the best life that you can possibly live. And I just want to say one more thing. This may be a little bit deep for people, but I understood something else about the person. Because I read something earlier that talked about something about other people. I don't remember. Like I do know that there's other people are my mirror, but this person really literally is like the worst part of my own self that like I've been that person before in my life. I've been angry, unhealed, wounded, ready to blame everybody, striking out, hollering at people. I have hit people, fighting. Like I have been the worst person. I haven't killed anybody, but I definitely have seen the worst in my lifetime. This not recently, really. I've I've never hit anybody like recently. I've hollered at people within the last some years, a couple of years ago. But I do know that as I have seen the stages of my own growth, emotional growth, and spiritual growth, that I'm not the same person anymore. And finally today, I am fully an adult and I can see other people for who they are, and that they are adults and they have choices as to how they want to act. Like we all have a choice. So the kid that I was is not in charge anymore. And so that's one of the reasons I'm really feeling like this was necessary and a catharsis. So I'm not the same person prior to having this incident happen. And the freedom I feel, um, the happiness I feel happy. I know I'm probably not looking happy, but I feel a certain happiness, and I'm glad that it happened, because I'm not feeling something I felt for years, which is like, that whole, oh my God, I had like a fight with somebody, and how can I ever make it? I didn't really have a fight, but there was an interaction that was horrible, and how can I make this person like, that's the codependency part. How can I make it okay with this person? I don't have to make it okay with this person. And I love this person. I think that this person, um, I'm hoping the person doesn't do anything because they're emotionally out of control. I think that when people are like in a very miserable place, I don't want them to hurt themselves or something like that. But I'm not to blame for that. Even if they did, unfortunately, I used to would have felt like I'm to blame for everything. All right, so I'm loving making videos. I'm hoping you get value. If you want to reach out and talk to me, I'm going to put my email in the description. And all this is leading up to me helping you in some sort of way, my goal is to give workshops and actually work individually with people or with groups of people actually, where I help people to heal, you know? And so make a comment and let me know, like, if you like this video. I'll probably post it. I'm not sure if I'll post it not only in my Living Metaphysical page. I don't mean to get everybody confused. I know it's about crypto and business, but I'm literally one person who is into crypto and I'm into business and I'm on a spiritual journey. And you know what? This is where I have the most subscribers. So I did see that Bitcoin was 4,200. So, oh my God, how low is it going to go? I'm thinking it may go down. I don't know. I hope it doesn't go. I don't know what it's going to do. So I'm not going to even say. But I was surprised to see 4,200. I want to see what happens. Nonetheless, nothing that Bitcoin or anything or anyone else does can have any power over me. And I'm just loving life. And so my motto, question everything. See what's in the way of you having the best life you want, because you can create it. You can release all of your fears and you can live the best life ever. It's in you. Go ahead and do whatever it takes to wake up, get out of the drone world of your own, like, asleep, like, and sheepish like most people, so that you can, like, be who you were born to be. You were born to be somebody, and your gift to the world is who you really are. All right. Good night. Peace and love.